Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about the history of insurance. Insurance is coverage or agreement between two parties. The history of insurance has a very long relationship with society and continues to grow today. Then, how is the history of insurance in the world from ancient times to the present? So the history of insurance begins through the field of trade between Babylonian and Chinese merchants. The type of insurance they used at the time was devoted to their merchandise, wherein the guarantee provided is the protection of the risk of goods being lost in the middle of the sea or being robbed. The history of insurance has been recorded in a document called the Code of Hammurabi in 1750 BC. The document describes the method of underwriting insurance for the first time against their merchandise. At the same time, the guarantor of the goods is still submitted to the notary. When the ancient times began to evolve, the types of insurance were increasingly developed by the Roman and Greek aristocrats. These include health and life insurance. This initiation has been held since 600 BC. The history of insurance in the 14th century. In 1347, the history of insurance began to develop in Genoa with the emergence of the first insurance policy on the type of maritime insurance. At that time, explorers had begun to explore various parts of the world. The insurance premiums paid are also differentiated based on the uniqueness of the risk posed by each person. Pedro de Santarém was the first to print literacy on insurance matters in 1552. This record was further developed until the end of the Renaissance in Europe. The history of insurance and its types also developed with a more sophisticated system. However, the history of insurance in continental Europe at that time still applied the old method. The people there still carry out the tradition of paying insurance premiums as compensation for deceased family member and funeral costs. Entering the modern era, insurance is increasingly diverse and different. Insurance history began to enter modern times when London experienced the biggest fire event, or also called the Great Fire of London, in 1666. The incident claimed the lives of 30,000 people. At the same time, the history of fire insurance emerged as a modern type of insurance in the 17th century. The emergence of fire insurance was also followed by the initiation by a British citizen named Nicholas Babin. This insurance magnate started to build an insurance business involving voluntary firefighters. The development of this insurance business also gave birth to another insurance history, namely the birth of the world's first insurance company. The history of insurance that developed in the following years occurred in England. Precisely in London stood the first insurance company in the world, which became a milestone in the history of the emergence of insurance. Founded in 1688, the company emerged from a small coffee shop called Edward Lloyd's, whose name was used as the name of the world's first insurance company. The insurance company offers trade insurance products that protect the movement of export and import cargo ships by sea. This insurance guarantee system is very simple because as long as the ship carrying the merchandise does not get damaged, the ship will still get their premium money back. Meanwhile, in other continents such as the United States, the first insurance company established at that time was the Philadelphia Contribution Ship for the insurance of houses from loss by fire. The company was founded by the President of the United States at the time, namely Benjamin Franklin, and several of his colleagues. in 1752. Contributors will refuse to grant insurance claims submitted by customers if the house built does not comply with very strict building standards. Until today, this fire prevention insurance company is still active. So that's the brief history of insurance. What do you think? Isn't it interesting? Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about don't misunderstand, recognize these life insurance clauses. One of the characteristics of an insurance policy is the presence of a clause. This term refers to specific, formulated obligations that must be fulfilled, both by the insurance company and the policyholder. The various clauses contained in the policy can simply be interpreted as details of the rights and responsibilities of both parties. For insurance companies, this clause is also a kind of limit of responsibility in carrying out coverage. Just a note, given the different risks and objects of coverage, the clauses that apply in one type of insurance, such as life insurance, must be different from the clauses in other insurances. As an illustration, the following clauses are commonly found in life insurance policies. First, free look provision. This clause means that the policyholder has time to first examine his policy and make a decision. Generally, this free look provision lasts for 14 days since the prospective customer receives the policy. Second, incontestable clause. This clause provides assurance to the public that a small mistake made by the applicant for coverage will not be used as an excuse by the insurance company to reject the claim when the risks occur. Third, grace period clause. This clause contains a statement that the insurance company will receive premium payments for a certain period after the due date. During that period, the policy will still have legal force. Fourth, reinstatement clause. This clause gives the right to the policyholder to recover the policy that has expired with certain conditions. The following are two conditions that must exist before the policy is reinstated, namely completeness of proof of guarantee and payment of premiums that have passed the due date. Fifth, waiting period. This clause specifies a certain period of time that the insured must live before he is eligible to receive benefits from the policy. Sixth, exclusion clauses. There are conditions that are excluded from life insurance benefits. In essence, this clause states that if the insured performs the following action, the sum assured contained in the life insurance will not be paid. These exclusions include suicide, a death sentence from the court, participating in a crime, intentionally being killed by someone who has an interest in getting the sum assured, dying of HIV or AIDS, and if the insured has a high-risk job such as mining workers, construction workers, military members, firefighters, and so on. 7. Pre-existing condition. That is a health condition that existed before the insurance policy took effect. Usually, this pre-existing condition is an exception to the protection provided. For example, if a customer has a pre-existing condition in the form of high blood pressure, then the customer will not get the sum assured if his death is caused by high blood pressure. 8. The area of coverage is also a limitation of the benefits provided by a life insurance policy. This coverage area, for example, only provides benefits if the insured dies in the territory of certain countries. This means that life insurance sum assured will be paid if the customer dies in a country that is mentioned in the policy. Ninth, lapse. It is a condition where the life insurance policy is no longer valid. This may happen if the customer does not pay the premium until the grace period has passed. 10. Claim submission time clause. One of the conditions regulated in the claim process is the maximum period of filing a claim since an event occurs. Generally, a life insurance policy allows the customer's family to submit a claim maximum of 3 months after the customer's death. The last one is premium leave. It is a clause that offers premium payment facilities not from cash, but from the cash value that has been formed. Thus, your policy can remain active even if you do not deposit the premium in cash. This facility can be useful when the customer is no longer actively working, retires, or is unable to deposit premiums in cash at any time. That is all from me.